I'm going to slate my name just for you all's record. It's Ralph O.L.K. It's Woolfolk, City of Atlanta, Commander. All right, you guys ready? Okay. So November 22nd, in the evening hours, our officers were dispatched to 180 Jackson Street in reference to a double murder. At that point in time, our investigation began, a very meticulous investigation, very detailed investigation in which a lot of hours were being placed into that case. And we get to a week or so later, we disseminated a video in which we were soliciting the public's help that was depicting a suspect that made entry into the apartment. It appeared to have been an acquaintance type of situation as the suspect was allowed into the apartment. And then subsequently, we had a kind of still shot of the suspect that was depicting him carrying a safe and exiting out of the apartment. So since that time, this investigation, as with so many, kind of fits the national average. It is no anomaly in the fact that many, many investigative hours were put into this case, upwards of 130, 140 hours at this point. And we have located our suspect. Our suspect is in custody at this time, and we'll release his name shortly. But what I will tell you is that there was overwhelming physical evidence, items of probative value, items of evidentiary value that were collected from this scene, and that eventually led our investigators through some very diligent work to our suspect. And what's important in this case is that this is a testament just to good old-fashioned police work. These investigators worked around the clock as it pertained to this investigation. There was lots of information that came in that could have played a role in being a distraction, or that could have led us off of needed to go. But the detectives, and specifically our lead detective, who stands right over my right shoulder, Detective Hogan, he was able to stay focused, was able to prioritize what needed to be done in this investigation, and through collective, collaborative, partnering efforts in the Atlanta Police Department's Homicide Unit, we are happy today to announce the arrest of our suspect. And that information has been disseminated to your media outlets. The name and the dates of birth of the suspect has been provided to each of your outlets. Any questions at this time? Yeah.
Sir, can you tell us how you found him?
Yes, we used many investigative tools and resources that were disseminated into our Atlanta Police Department's fugitive unit, and they were able to hone in on a specific location and bring him into custody. So he was inside of an apartment with two other adult individuals at the time in which he was taken into custody.
Was that within the city?
It was within the city.
And can you say anything more about the safe, what he was trying to take from these individuals?
Not at this time. I mean, all of that is still part of what's an ongoing investigation. As indicated, though we've done a lot of work as it pertains to this investigation, there's still a substantial amount of work to be done. And shortly, we're going to allow Detective Hogan to get back to work with his colleagues and making sure that the remainder of that work is done. But we did want to provide you an update as to the fact that the suspect is in custody at this point.
Do you know the connection between him and the two victims? Or were they, you said acquaintances, are they friends? Because they apparently let him into their home or whatever, and then he stayed for a while before leaving.
Right, and we have confirmed the preliminary information that has confirmed the acquaintance-related relationship, but as indicated, there's still some subsequent work that needs to be done, and that will be done in this case to establish additional connectivity pertaining to the individuals.
And the two victims,
Yep.
man and woman, are they husband, wife, brother, sister? I mean, are they connected and are they relatives?
No, they were just domestic partners at this time. Yeah.
Is there a sign of a struggle or anything inside?
We're not going to release that information at this time. I can tell you that a substantial amount of evidence was removed from the apartment, and that there were many items of probative value, many items of evidentiary value that played a significant role in us being able to streamline this investigation and come to today's resolution.
So you found stuff in the victim's apartment and in the suspect's apartment?
That's correct.
And then the other two people that were there, were they also arrested?
No, they were not. Yep.
And then, do we think that, I mean, at this point, the motive was robbery? I mean, or theft, or, I mean, is that, what is he being?
We have some preliminary indications as to a motive, but I want to hold off on pinpointing one specific motive at this point to make sure that we are just doing a comprehensive job in knowing all the details and facts of the case. I think the important thing, what I want everyone to note, is that specifically as it pertains to just the good old-fashioned police work, the investigative work in which Detective Hogan and his colleagues unit put into this case. 7 hours that goes into each homicide investigation, and this case was no anomaly. We have already exceeded those amount of investigative resources that are poured into this case. We received overwhelming information from the public as it pertains to. We thank them from that, but we looked at every single one of those tips. We went through we excluded that information having been received, and at this point, we know that the physical evidence, we know that the items of evidentiary value recovered from the incident location, that's what led us to our suspect at this point.
So the photos that you released on December 6th had nothing to do with how you found him today?
How we found him, no. The surveillance video that we indicated does depict the individual in question that we're looking for. But that particular video and the information received as a result of it did not lead to this resolution.
What about the victims' families? Have you guys spoken to them? How are they doing?
Yeah, and we're not going to go into detail as it pertains to that, but yes, we have.
Are there more people? I know you said it's an open investigation. Could there be more arrests coming?
We will see where the investigation takes us. As I stated, there's still a substantial amount of work to do, and we're going to allow our investigators to get back to work in doing that.
Did you find the safe?
We have not located a safe at this time.